Hello, Melanin Monarchy citizens. This is your Monarch Monique here at my favorite theater, the Angelica Theater, here in Carmel Mountain in San Diego. I am here to see Caught Stealing. This is a Darron Aronofsky film. I'm a little bit of a fan of Mr. Darron Aronofsky. He did Requiem of a Dream, which I actually really liked. I thought it was pretty daring, that particular film. He also did Noah, which I liked Noah. A lot of Christians did not like Noah, probably because he took a lot of creative licensing with that film. Again, the Bible isn't exact on that particular story, so I'm okay with creative licensing as long as you're not defaming the name of God, which he did not do. I think people were upset because he drew a little bit from the book of Enoch, which is not Canaan, and a lot of people don't agree with the book of Enoch. Neither do I, even though that's a whole nother story. But overall, as a director and as the films that Darron Aronofsky has produced and directed, I pretty much like it. I think he does well with his casting. I think he does well with his storytelling. So I'm excited to see Caught Stealing. Not for nothing, because the name comes from a Jane Addiction's song, their most famous song, Been Caught Stealing. I'm thinking he drew from that. I don't know. But we're going to go inside. We're going to see the film Caught Stealing. We're going to see how Austin Butler does. We're going to see how Zoe Kravitz does. I'm a fan of Zoe Kravitz. I think that she's not only a wonderful actress, but she's also a pretty darn good director. So I'm interested to see what Mr. Aronofsky does with this film. The writer, I believe, is Charlie Huston. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna check it out. Your Monarch is gonna give you my take on this particular film. All right, I'll see you in a moment. Toodle bit. Melanin Monarchy citizens, that was Caught Stealing, directed by Darron Aronofsky and written by Charlie Huston. Actually, I think Charlie Huston appeared in the movie. He was in one of the bar scenes, the writer of this story, the screenplay. It's adapted from one of his books, Caught Stealing. And I haven't graded it on the scale, on the 1 to 10 scale. Right now, I'm going to give it a 5. That's just your Monarch, because, you know, even though it was well written, well directed, well acted, you left feeling hopeless. You really did. I kind of think that the theme of the film was you can't run away from your past. You have to face it head on. You cannot run away from your past. You have to be healed from your past before you can move forward, or everything else is going to crumble. If you don't heal, if you don't forgive yourself, then everything in your life is going to crumble. I want to say that was the essence, the subtext of this particular film. But you just really left feeling hopeless, even though they kind of made it seem like at the end that, you know, and again, money is not the answer to everything. Money will answer all things, but that doesn't mean that it's a good answer. And so, you guys, I definitely would suggest that you see the film. It's pretty horrific. The scenes in it are pretty horrific. However, Austin Butler did an amazing job. He's just really a good actor. He really is. He's a good actor. The standout performance here was from Griffin Dunne. A lot of us forget about Griffin Dunne. But Griffin Dunne, he played an old hippie, and he was the standout performance in this particular film. Another thing about this film, Caught Stealing, is that the location was 1990s, late 1990s New York. So they were making a statement, I want to say, of how it was living in Giuliani's New York, which is why Giuliani was necessary, because New York was replete with crime and crime bosses. Whatever, cultural or ethnicity, there was crime in all these cultures, and he served a purpose by cleaning it up, even in his own organization with the police. So Giuliani was very necessary in the 90s because you can say what you want to say about Giuliani. He did clean up New York. And so I think that that was also a statement here with this particular film. Again, I enjoyed the performances. I really enjoyed it. And I do suggest, even though it rates low on my score, I still would recommend seeing this film. I just don't like films where you leave feeling hopeless, and I really did leave feeling hopeless during this film. All right, you guys, this is a review for Caught Stealing, a Darron Aronofsky film written by Charlie Houston. Am I saying that right? Aronofsky. Darron, you're gonna have to tell me. You're gonna have to tell me how you pronounce your name. But again, I love you. I like your work. I really do. I like it, and kudos. All right, you guys. Toodle pip from the Angelica Theater here in San Diego, Carmel Mountain. Did you see that? Bye. All right, guys, so here's my addendum to the Caught Stealing film that I just finished, that I just came home from, because I was thinking about the film. I just want to say, give a shout out to Zoe Kravitz. I mean, I get it that Zoe Kravitz she tends to play these, you know, beautiful, sexy girlfriends of the main person, of the whole protagonist. And after her, you know, directing the film, I think it was called Blink Twice, I think she deserves better than that. I would like to know how Zoe Kravitz, if she was directing this particular film, how she would have ended it, how she would have, what her direction would have been. Now, you guys, I know that directing is not easy. I've been in that spot. I've been in the spot of a director, more so a producer than anything like that. And producers or directors are like parents of the whole production, and so that's why they have to be simpatico, because they are like the parents. And directing is not an easy task. It isn't, especially when you're dealing with the studio and monies and all this other kind of stuff. So, but I would like to see her in the director's seat more often. And my son is so completely in love with Zoe Kravitz. He just loves love. Why wouldn't he be, right? But I just want to give a shout out that she deserves more. The roles that she's getting, I think that she deserves a little bit more roles with meat in it, and I would love to see her direct a whole lot more. So again, you know, for Zoe Kravitz, I would like to know how you would have directed this film, what direction you would have taken in this particular film. All right, you guys, to the pip.